Right, after changing the colors, we are back at the application again. And now it's time to see how can we connect these components to the main activity so that we can actually read the input from what the user typed there, and when the button gets clicked, something happens, and then that something that should happen should actually set text to this text view. So there must be a way how we connect these components to the main activity that runs in the background, or the Java file that runs in the background. So if you go to the Java file, you can see it extends app compat activity, which just means that our activity will be backwards compatible. You remember the onCreate method is one of the lifecycle events, and that's one of the first methods that runs when your activity starts. So it's fine just to have this one when it starts. So in the onCreate, the call to super must be there, and then you'll see there's a very important line of coding which says set content view r.layout.mainActivity. So this R file is a resources file, a resources Java file that's automatically generated. So if you go to the top there where it says Android and you go to project, maybe you've got it like this. So you go into the very first folder, go into app, go into source, no, not in source, build, then go to generated, go into source, go into R, going to debug, and then search for your project folder there, and you'll see there's an r.java file. I know it's a long way to get there, but if you double click that r.java file, you will see that this is a class R, and inside of this class we've got some static other classes. So somewhere along the line here we will find the layout class. That will be a bigger type of class. Just bear with me, there's a lot of stuff going on in this thing. It's automatically generated, so you should not change anything here in this file. But this file basically adds components to it as soon as you add anything to the resources folder. It will start adding it here. Let me just go down and see if we can get some, where's the layout? Okay, here we start getting the bigger classes. There's the color class. You can see in the color class, we've got our material, dark, and so forth. There's the colors we added. There's a dimension class. There's a drawable class. There's an ID class, which we're going to get to now. And there's an integer, and there's the layout class. So you can see there's the layout class. So if you look at the main activity in the r.java file, which is automatically generated from your resources folder, there's a layout class. So if I go to the layout class, I should find one property there that says main activity. So if you go down a bit, you can see there's your main activity. So this r.java file is just a file that generates basically everything that you create in this resources folder will be in a class. There's a class for drawable, for layout, and so forth. So in the r.java file, you need to reference it. So as soon as it gets added here, or as soon as you add it into your resources folder, it gets automatically generated in the r.java file. And the way you reference it is by saying, going to R, the r.java file, going to the layout class inside of it, and referencing that main activity. So the main activity here is just this main activity XML. So what does this one line do? It sets the content view to the main activity, which means for this activity, when it starts, the layout file should be main activity. I hope you understand that one. Okay, so let's go back. I'm going to keep the r.java file open here. Let's just close it for now. Okay, in the main activity, we now need to connect to these components. So the button will work a bit differently than these two. So let's set up the edit text and the text view first. So for the edit text, we called this, or the ID for this edit text was etid. So I'm going to do global declarations here so that we can use it everywhere in our application. So if you start typing edit text, you'll see that it pops up the edit text, which is of Android widget, and you can just click on it and it adds the import for you. And now I'd like to know to name the variables the same as I name my ID on the XML file. That's just easier to reference later on. So I'm going to say etid, and then we also need a text view. So if you start typing text view, you can just click on enter, it will add the import for you, and we called that one TV message, if I remember correctly. So if you go to your main activity, click on the text view, you'll see it's called TV message. So I like to name them exactly the same. Now, how do we set them up? How do we link to them? So we will say etid, which is the header text. Now there's a nice method that's called find view by its ID. Now remember, the ID for the header text is etid. So I can just go into the r.java file. There's an ID class, and in that ID class, you'll see I've got all my IDs listed. So there's etid, there's the button's ID, there's the main activity, there's TV message. So this one should be etid. Now, one thing important about this specific method is it returns a view, which is the superclass. But remember, there's a lot of views. It could be a header text or a text view or a button or whatever. But the global class for all those components is a view. So this method returns a view, and you need to cast it to the correct view. So this one is an header text, so you cast that to an header text. So let's go and have a look at the r.java file again. So if we go to Android, click at the top on Android and go to project, go down to app, go down to build, go down to generated source R debug, get into your project folder again and open up the r.java file. So if I go down now, if I'm in the ID class there and you go down, you will see somewhere along the line, you'll get your etid, and you'll also get that TV message right at the bottom. There's the TV message. So as soon as you create components on the screen and you start giving them IDs, it will be listed in the ID class. Okay, so how do we reference it? By going and saying R in the ID class, there's a property called etid. So by using this one line of coding, we are actually connecting this variable, which is of type header text, to this component, which is etid, which is this one on the screen. So I hope you've got the steps there to do this. So let's do the same for TV message. Now TV message is a text view, so we need to convert this to a text view. Also use the find view by ID, and now it's r.id. And now if I start typing TV, I will see a list of all my text views. So that's why I rename them or name them TV and then something descriptive, or ET and something descriptive. So TV message goes along with TV message. Right, so now we've got a connection to both these components. We've connected to them in coding, we've got a connection, now we can start doing something with it. So the way we're going to make the button work is the following. We're going to create a method, public void, and you can call it anything. I'm going to say btn submit, and I like to use the on-click words there. Now, for this method to work, we need to have accept in brackets a view object. So we're going to say view and then just name it anything you like. So that view that will be in brackets, that will be accepted here, will basically be the button that was clicked. So that V will reference your button if we connect this to the button now. So that's just a way for us to do something with the button as soon as it gets clicked or whatever. Okay, so we've got BT and submit on click. Now notice that this one is grayed out and that on create method is normal text. So if a method is grayed out, it means the method has not been used. So this is a nice way for you to also see that your method is not connected to that button yet. So how do we connect this method to the button? So you're going to click on main activity XML, click on your button, and you'll see there's an on-click property. So in the on-click property, you'll see that if you click there and you've got methods with the view v in brackets, it will be listed here. So you'll see BT and submit on click. That's the one I want. Now, after the newest update of Android Studio, it keeps on putting that main activity there in brackets. So make sure you delete the main activity. It should only be the method name. BT and submit on click. And then just to make sure, you can go to the text, go to your button, and make sure it's just the name of the method, btn submit onClick. So it's the onClick property. So another way of doing it is just to come and add this property to your button, Android onClick, and then typing your method name automatically. Okay, so now if you go back to your main activity, you'll see that grayed out method now becomes a live method. It's a method that's got normal text now, which means that as soon as we click this button, something will happen. What will happen? It will connect to this method and it will run this method. And now that V object will refer to the button. And we can then do whatever we want with that button. In this case, we're not going to do anything with the button, but we want to get whatever the user typed there and do some calculations on it and then print out using the text view. Okay, so how do we get what the user typed? Remember now that ETID is a connection to this component where the user will actually type something. So now we're going to go and say, let's say string data equals ETID, which is the edit text. Now there's a get text method that will get the text whatever the user typed. And then we need to convert that to a string. Okay, so after that one line, we've got whatever the user typed in the edit text. So let's carry on. So what we need to do now with this data that we received from the user is we need to get, let's say, the first 6 digits. Okay, so to get the first 6 digits, to get the date of birth basically, let's just call this one a string as well. So we're going to say date of birth equals, and we're going to take this data, which is the whole ID number, and we're going to use the substring method. So we're going to use the substring method there. Now you can see there's the beginning index and the end index. So we're going to start at 0 and we're going to end at the end, which should be at position number, let's just see. It's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And remember the substring method works that way. That you need to include the last character, although it will not take the 6th one. So 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those 6 are for the date of birth, but going from position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 not included. So it goes from 0 to 6 not included, which will extract only that part. Okay, so that's the substring. That's the date of birth, and we're not going to really do anything else but just show those values as the date of birth. And then what we can do next is to go and see whether the guys or the person is a male or female. Well, they say the next 4 digits are used to define your gender. So it will be this one basically, because that one will change to a 5 or a 0 or a 1, a 2, 3, or 4, or 5 up until 9. So a female is when that digit is a 0 to a 4. If it's a 5 or more, that will be a male. Okay, so let's just quickly get that specific character. Now that character is at position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at position 6. So we're going to do the following. Let's use this as an integer. Integer, let's call this gender, equals data, which is the whole ID number, dot character at, and the character at position 6 is the one that we want. Now remember the character at method returns a character, and because characters is also represented as numbers, it's fine to store it in int, but this won't give us the output that we need. So I'm going to convert this integer dot parseInt, convert this to an integer. And now remember the parseInt method of the integer class converts strings to integers, and this is a character. So I'm just going to add some string there. So this character now becomes a string. That string gets converted to an integer, and we're saving that to the gender variable. So now we've got this character, which is a 5 there, and now we need to test if that value is 5 or more, it's a male. Let's quickly do that. If the gender is more than or equal 5, we know it's male. So then we can do, let's just create a variable at the top here, string sGender, for a string gender there. Then we're going to say sGender equals male. Okay, so if the gender, that value, is more than or equal 5, then we know it's a male. Otherwise, sGender will be female. Right, so we've got that one. And then if we get into it again, let's see, now we need to know if it's an SA citizen or not. So the citizenship is the next digit. It will be this one. So it's the third one from the back. It's at position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At position number 10 is the next one that we need to extract. So let's use that one also as an integer. Integer, let's say nationality equals, again, it will be that data, which is the total, the full length ID number dot character at position number 10. That's the one that we need, the specific character at position 10, it's that one. And now, in order to get that one also as an integer, we're going to do the same thing. It's going to be integer.parseInt. Convert that character to a string first, and then convert the string to an integer value. So now we've got that character as an integer value, and we can test again. Let me just see again what we need to do there. So for this one, if it's a 0, this guy is an SA citizen. Otherwise, if it's a 1, it's a permanent resident. Okay, so if the nationality is equal to 0, then let's just declare something else there again, string nationality. Then S nationality would be South African. And the else part will be that S nationality will be permanent resident. Okay, so we've got the nationality. If it's a 0, it's South African. Else, it's a permanent resident. We've got the male and the female also. If the gender is greater than or equal 5, then it's a male. Otherwise, it's female. So I think we've got the date of birth, we've got the gender, and we've got the nationality. So we can actually show this now to the user. Okay, so let's see how we do that. Remember now, we're going to use this text view with the ID TV message to display the text. So you remember that there we made a connection to TV message. What am I doing now? Okay, so there we did TV message equals, and there we connected it to the ID TV message. So this variable is connected to this text view. Right, so how do we set text on it? Well, just as we're speaking, TV message dot set text, and you can set your text as a normal string. So at this stage, we need to maybe create a string that we can set there. So it's up to you. We can do it inside of this. Let's do it inside of this. Let's first say your information from your ID number. Okay, and then we can have the new line character. Right, so we're going to go to a new line, and then let's just do this here as well. Then the first thing we're going to display is your date of birth. So we're going to say date of birth, and then display date of birth. So now the date of birth is the DOB there. So we're going to say DOB plus DOB. And then we need to add the new line character again. Okay, then we carry on. The next thing we're going to show is the gender. So we're going to put in double quotation marks, gender. And then we will display the gender, which is sGender variable. Go to a new line. And then again, show the nationality now. And the nationality will be the S nationality there. And then I think we are done after that, so we don't need to go to a new line again. And that's the text that we're going to show. So it's going to show your information from your ID number, and then it's going to show date of birth on a new line and show the date of birth. Gender on the next line, show the gender. Nationality on the next line and show the nationality. Okay, so let's see if this application runs. So you're going to click on the play button there. If you've set up your virtual device, you can just click on OK, and let's just wait for it to start and see how our application runs. Okay, so my application is up and running. So you'll see the very first thing that we can do there is to enter the ID number, and if you click on the edit text, you will see that it automatically only gives you the number keyboard. So you can't type any text. So I'm going to add an ID number there. Let's say 79. Let's say something like that. And I click on submit. So then you can see as soon as I click on submit, it gives me my information. Your information from your ID number, date of birth, 790042. Okay, that's not a nice ID number. Let's just try that again. Something like this. Okay, there we go. So born in 79, April 29, gender male, nationality South African. So remember, we can go and change this 5 there. Let's change it to a 4. If it's less than 5, it should be female. If it's more than 5 or 5, it will be male. And then that last 0 there, if I make it a 1, the nationality should change to permanent resident. So if it's a 0 or a 1. So it seems as if our application is running 100%. I'm just going to quickly remove this. Run it again. Did not catch on what was shown on the screen. Can you see it starts off with a text view there? So we don't want to use it to see text view there. That's not a good way of displaying anything to the user. So this text view needs to change. So let's go to our, if you go to your resources values folder, you get your strings XML again, and let's just add one extra string value there. So we're going to call that one, let's say text view. And then we're just going to say something like your ID info will be displayed here. And then we can save it. If you go to your main activity now, click on the text view, go to the text, there's the 3 dots on the side. So click on the 3 dots and choose your text view. And it will show your info will be displayed here. If we run it now, just run the app again. Takes a while. There we go. And there it says your ID info will be displayed here. And now the user can type the ID, click on submit, and the ID info will be displayed. So this is basically the app. I hope that you've learned something in this video. Go through it again and make sure that you can connect components to the screen as well as work with buttons.